All right. Next up, we have Mr. Greg Frost. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Melissa, and good morning, everybody out there.
Yeah. So tell us what you do. I know you're director of sales with Impression Solutions, but give us a little bit more and then we'll get our participants involved in another poll.
Okay, Melissa, I wear two hats for the company. One of them is the director of sales.
Hmm.
I've been with Impression Solutions now for 20 plus years. So I'm the director of sales of the company, but I also have my own territory. So I'm a regional sales manager for what we call the Atlantic territory, which is Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Alabama.
Wow, awesome. So you're busy.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, why don't we just get started with the poll and see where we're at here.
Good.
Okay, so what percentage of your current revenue is derived from A4? I don't know. 1 to 24%, 25 to 49, 50 to 74, or 75% or more? Greg, I'll ask you the same question I ask everyone. Where do you think they're going to land on this one?
Well, where I hope it lands is kind of in the middle, where people are starting to make that shift, but still some growth opportunities available to sell more A4 going forward in the future.
Absolutely. Okay, we still have a few more coming in here. I'll just give them a second. Let's end it and I'll launch it. Okay, so let me share here. 34% sitting at the middle range. Not a surprise, but some good opportunities here nonetheless.
I agree. It looks like people again are have heeded the looking at the way the marketplace has evolved and starting to move in that direction. So good. That's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for participating, everyone. And Greg, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you again, Melissa. And again, thank you for all the participants today. I always chuckle when I see this. I think it's a funny little analogy. Are we guilty in our industry of trying to continue to sell our customers dump trucks? Where, because of the change in the hauling market, all they really need is a pickup truck or multiple pickup trucks. And again, I think it's kind of what we're trying to do in business. So I think it's a funny little visual. What are the benefits to the dealer for A4? Number one, I think as a general rule, these devices have a lower service cost, obviously a smaller footprint. Similar features and benefits over the last 5 to 10 years. The manufacturers have been developing more A4 products with the feature sets that historically you could only get on an A3 device. And I think is obviously lower acquisition costs, which obviously leads to, I think, a higher GP for our dealers, especially on the acquisition part of the transaction. And again, I think the marketplace, our A4 to help our dealers adjust to the new normal, which is in most cases reduced print volumes and less of a need for 11 by 17 print.
Okay, great. Greg, talk to me about what an A4 strategy looks like.
Okay, I always I'll start off by telling you a little story somebody shared with me 10 plus years ago. Somebody I respect, and again, for those people that are old like me, they'll remember back in that day and age, technology as a general rule was going down in price. So they would send their reps out on the street. Maybe the current customer had a 30 page per minute A3 device, and their instructions were that go to that customer and, hey, I can sell you a 40 page per minute device now for the same price you're currently paying for the 30. Would you be interested, Mr. and Mrs. Customer? Sure, that's great. Where do I sign? 3, 4, 5 years later, send that same rep out to the same customer. Hey, got great news for you. We can now sell you a 50 page per minute unit at the same price we sold you a 40. Would you be interested? Sure, that sounds great. Where do I sign? I think part of this new normal we find ourselves is kind of unraveling that strategy a little bit, where we're upselling, maybe I'm not going to use the word downselling, but looking at what they need, outside the box thinking. Management of the dealers, sales management of the dealers have to adjust the talking points that their dealer reps go out there on the street, maybe ask questions, and with potentially lower print volumes, with less need or no need for 11 by 17. Maybe they don't need finishing anymore. Do they still need that A3 device? And with the solution that they go back with to the customer, that an A3 device doesn't necessarily have to be the centerpiece anymore. Maybe it is, maybe it is not. but maybe that with strategically placed A4 devices around the organization. And heck, the solution may be a total A4 solution. We at Impression Solutions are very fortunate with our Kyocera and Epson product lines that we have great A4 products to offer our dealers, and they in turn can offer their customers.
Awesome. Do you agree that print volumes have declined for most of your customers, and are A devices part of the solutions to right size these clients?
No doubt about it. I think the right sizing is taking place, and I think it will accelerate in the future. I think, as I said earlier, is dealer reps need to go out and ask their customers detailed questions, maybe walk around the organization. Who's printing where? Who's scanning where? Where's the print volume being done? Do you need 11 by 17? Do you need finishing? All these questions, and tailor a solution that specifically works for that customer. And as I said, A3s may or may not be part of that solution, but designing something that doesn't work best for us, the channel, the distributors, the dealers, but what works best for the customer, what that printing and imaging looks like going forward.
For sure. Are your competitors vulnerable with underutilized A3 devices? What are your thoughts on that?
No doubt about it. I think our customers, at least I hope the dealers that have an active A4 strategy, go out there and see an A3 device maybe underutilized that we talked about before about the right sizing and are prime for the pickings. And I've always told people this: don't go in and me too. Hey, you got that now? Hey, me too. I got that too. I think you should always ask questions about what the needs of the customers are, and I think that's even more important today. If we're on the outside looking in, we're not the incumbent. Is asking good questions, tailoring a solution for the customer, differentiate us versus maybe what their current dealer and manufacturer is doing, and again, tailoring a solution for that. To go back a couple of minutes, that current customer has a dump truck, and we need to ask them, hey, I've talked to you, I've asked you these questions, and I think one or two or maybe multiple pickup trucks would be best for you, Mr. Customer, going forward.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a great opportunity with A4. Thank you, Greg. We really appreciate your insights today. Thanks again.
Thank you, Melissa. And again, thanks for all the participants.
Thank you.